What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. I'm sitting here because coming up at 9 o'clock Eastern, we have our live stream. I hope you guys tune in tonight. Tonight, we're doing a special edition for my man, Stuart Morrison. Me and my man DMV are going to be talking about what else the Dallas Cowboys, are we getting a whole lot of fake juice, or is this stuff actually going to be real? And in the meantime, we're going to be burning our insides the hell out. You see here, I've got a multitude of different hot sauces. I'm going to be cooking some chicken wings here in about an hour. And we are basically, as we raise money for Stuart, going to be kicking it up a level. I mean, some of these ones, now, the Lola hot sauce are the ones I love. Trinidad scorpion pepper. I haven't tried this one. I'm sure it's hot as hell. This one right here, you've seen the green jalapeno serrano pepper. This one will get you sweating. I know DMV and I have been hitting this one during the season, and we're talking about dousing. This one is just straight ghost pepper. We've got a whole bunch. We've got habanero. We got scorpion habanero, reaper pepper mixed, and one with coffee and pineapple and everything else. But we're going to be burning. And if we get to, this is going to be crazy. If we get to the goal, the Pacquiao Scorpion Carolina Reaper. Yeah. We'll do this because we love our buddy Stuart Morrison. But the question we have to have is we've seen Zeke Elliott working out today. This morning, actually it was yesterday. Yesterday through this morning and stuff, we've all seen it. Zeke making those moves and stuff. We've heard about Zeke Elliott going 22 miles an hour, being clocked by the Cowboys GPS system and stuff. And he looking good. Should we believe that Zeke Elliott is ready to rock and roll? That he is going to have it going forward, and he's going to be ready to really be an impact player? I'm going to say that it's possible because, see, here's what's kind of interesting. You think about the running backs that were big during his era. Todd Gurley was, of course, the big one. Todd Gurley, I can't remember, from the Chargers. The Melvin Gordon, how he was another one of the big backs when Zeke Elliott was really feasting and stuff. But as you've seen them just drop off the face of the earth, the assumption would be that that's going to be the same thing that happens with Zeke Elliott. But I'm going to beg to differ a little bit because, honestly, when we look back at the last 3 off seasons, we've had mitigating circumstances that have affected Zeke Elliott. Because you think about the year that he ended up, of course, having to deal with, of course, the off-season issues, okay? That stuff of being suspended, not being suspended, and so forth. Then there was the contract year where he was literally in Cabo. Yeah, he was in Cabo working out because the Cowboys were too cheap to pay him. In which case, when he came in after the preseason, you'll remember Jerry Jones famously saying, Zeke who? Well, Zeke who should have been Zeke who was in training camp, training and getting ready like the rest of the team. And I don't believe that he truly had his win then because of the contract holdout. And I think that slowed him down some. Then we go to 2020. Well, 2020, he ended up having COVID in the middle of June. In which case he said, I'm fine. But you could literally hear him breathing. And with some people with COVID, you lose lung capacity. I don't know that he was ever really in shape and recovered completely going to that season. And then, of course, you lose Dak Prescott, you lose Tyron Smith, Lyle Collins didn't play. So you have all of these different circumstances that are also part of the equation. Enter last year. Now, here's the part that's kind of interesting. People will say, well, Zeke Elliott barely got to 1,000 yards and everything, and Zeke Elliott, he's lost it. Okay, let's look at the season in 2 halves. Now, it's hard to look at it completely in 2 halves because now there's 17 games, okay? With 17 games, you got to go 8 and 9. If we go through the first 8 games of the season, what's amazing is Zeke Elliott was averaging 4.7 yards per carry. Excuse me. Choking already. Haven't even got the hot sauce. Just the thought of all this hot sauce is getting me. Zeke Elliott was averaging 4.7 yards per carry. Then there's a PCL injury. Then there's Tyron Smith going out. Then there's the offensive line shaking up. Then there's Tony Pollard getting injured. There's a multitude of things that happen the second half of the season, including his PCL, in which case he went from 4.7 yards a carry to 3.2. He ended up averaging out 4.2 yards a carry. Not exactly the worst. I mean, when we think about, say, Darren McFadden, when we signed Darren McFadden from the Raiders, who 3 years in a row had 3.9 yards a carry, we thought that he was going to be good enough for us to help out. And he ended up rebounding and getting like 4.5 yards a carry. So, here is my thoughts on whether or not Zeke Elliott will rebound. I think you're going to see a much better Zeke Elliott for a multitude of reasons. One, the Cowboys offense, I believe, will evolve and use more 12 personnel, which will give you better numbers to run. Because when you don't have 12 personnel, when you just have one tight end and no fullback, and you're running, you basically have 6 blockers and 1 running back, and teams are putting 8 men in the box, which means he's got to beat 2 guys. They run 12 personnel. Well, they've got 2 tight ends that are in there blocking. Now it's a one-on-one battle. He's only got to beat 1 guy. Second, I think our offensive line is going to be better. I know we've been sold that we lost La'el Collins, but I don't think La'el Collins is really a starter on the Cowboys offensive line anymore. And as far as Connor Williams is not a bad offensive lineman, but he's not a great one, and the penalties kill you. I think the offensive line will be better from the standpoint of where they were last year. And if that is the case, if Terrence Steele can take another step and stay constant over on the right-hand side, he's going to be better. I think Tyler Baddish going into his 3rd year, knowing that this is a contract year, this is put up or shut up, will play better. And I think the new fella, Tyler Smith, I think he's got a little bit of dog in him, and I don't see him being rocked back into the quarterback in the same way that Connor Williams. If these things happen and Zeke Elliott recovers completely from the PCL, that alone will give you better numbers for Zeke Elliott. The problem wasn't that Zeke, let me rephrase this. The problem with Zeke has been he'll get through the holes, but he hasn't had that burst. And I can go back to and say conditioning is a lot of that because of the mitigating circumstances. Last year, that second half of the season, I'm sorry, you can dispute what I'm saying here, but the holes were not there the second half of the season. It was not the same as the beginning of the season. So from that standpoint, you got to look at it and say, okay, I think he's going to be better. So with that being said, I got to go up here and get ready to cook some chicken wings because we are going to be doing it here tonight. We are going to be on fire. I got a gallon of milk just in case. And if we really raise some money, the chip's going down for real. It's going down for real. All right. See you guys here shortly.